The Galactic Council had always been pragmatic. When they needed someone to test the viability of a newly discovered planet, they didn't send their best. They sent the expendable. And so, it was that Private Daniel Carter, a human soldier with a checkered past and no family to speak of, found himself standing on the scorching surface of Zorath 7, a desert planet so harsh that even the Council's advanced probes had labeled it marginally survivable. Daniel adjusted the oxygen mask on his face, the suit's cooling system struggling against the relentless heat. The air shimmered like liquid glass, and the twin suns overhead burned with a ferocity that made his skin prickle even through the insulated fabric of his suit. The mission was simple: survive for 72 hours, collect data on the planet's environment, and report back. If he died, well, the Council had plenty of other humans to throw into the void. "Welcome to hell," Daniel muttered to himself, his voice crackling through the comms. The Council had given him a rover, but it had broken down within the first hour, its circuits fried by the heat. Now he was on foot, trudging through endless dunes of crimson sand, each step sinking him deeper into the planet's unforgiving embrace. By the second day, Daniel was out of water. His suit's reserves had run dry, and the heat was beginning to take its toll. His vision blurred, and his thoughts grew sluggish. He knew he wasn't going to make it. The Council had sent him here to die, and he was going to oblige them. But as he collapsed onto the sand, his body too weak to go on, he saw something that made his heart skip a beat. In the distance, shimmering like a mirage, was an oasis. Lush green foliage swayed in the breeze, and crystal clear water sparkled under the twin suns. Daniel blinked, convinced it was a hallucination, but the image didn't fade. Summoning the last of his strength, he dragged himself toward it. When he reached the oasis, he found something even more astonishing. The water was real, cool, and refreshing against his parched lips. But it wasn't the water that took his breath away. It was the women. They were unlike anything he had ever seen. Tall and slender, their skin a shimmering silver that seemed to reflect the light around them. Their hair flowed like liquid gold, and their eyes were large and luminous, filled with an otherworldly intelligence. They moved with a grace that was almost hypnotic, their long, delicate fingers brushing against the leaves of the trees as they approached him. Daniel tried to speak, but his voice failed him. One of the women knelt beside him, her touch cool and soothing against his fevered skin. She placed a hand on his forehead, and he felt a strange sensation, like a wave of calm washing over him. His pain faded, and his strength began to return. Who are you?" he finally managed to ask. The woman smiled, her voice like a melody. "We are the Zorathians, the guardians of this world. You are the first outsider to find us in millennia." Daniel stared at her, his mind struggling to process what he was hearing. "But, the Council said this planet was uninhabited. They said it was a death sentence." The Zorathian's smile widened. "The Council knows little of the true nature of the universe. They see only what they wish to see. But you are different. You have a spirit they cannot understand." Over the next few days, Daniel learned more about the Zorathians. They were an ancient race, far older than the Galactic Council. They had chosen to live in seclusion, hidden from the rest of the galaxy, their advanced technology and deep connection to the planet allowing them to thrive in what others saw as a wasteland. They had watched as the Council sent countless beings to their deaths on Zorath 7, but they had never intervened, until now. "Why me?" Daniel asked one evening as he sat with the Zorathians around a fire. The desert night was cool, the stars above shining like diamonds. The leader of the Zorathians, a woman named Lyra, looked at him with those luminous eyes. "Because you are human. Your kind possesses a resilience, a capacity for hope, that is rare in the universe. We have seen it in you, even in your darkest moments." Daniel felt a lump in his throat. He had spent most of his life feeling like a failure, disposable pawn in someone else's game. But here, among these beautiful, enigmatic beings, he felt a sense of belonging he had never known. As the days turned into weeks, Daniel began to learn the ways of the Zorathians. They taught him how to harness the planet's energy, how to communicate with the flora and fauna, and how to see the beauty in the harshness of the desert. He grew stronger, both physically and mentally, and he found himself falling in love, not just with Lyra, but with the entire Zorathian way of life. But as much as he wanted to stay, he knew he couldn't. The Galactic Council would come looking for him eventually, and he couldn't risk exposing the Zorathians to their greed and corruption. He had to go back. Lyra understood. "You must return to your people," she said, her voice filled with sorrow. "But know that you will always have a home here, among us." Daniel nodded, his heart heavy. "I'll come back," he promised. "I'll find a way to protect you, to make sure the Council never finds you." Lyra smiled, her hand brushing against his cheek. "We will be waiting." When Daniel returned to the Galactic Council, he was a changed man. He delivered his report, omitting any mention of the Zorathians, and was hailed as a hero for surviving against all odds. But he knew the truth. He had been given a second chance, a glimpse of something greater than himself, and he wasn't going to waste it. Over the next few years, Daniel worked tirelessly to undermine the Council's efforts to exploit Zorath 7. He used his newfound knowledge to sabotage their missions, spreading rumors of the planet's lethality and ensuring that no one else would be sent to their deaths. And when the time was right, he disappeared, leaving behind a life of servitude for one of purpose. Back on Zorath 7, the Zorathians welcomed him with open arms. Lyra's smile was brighter than the twin suns, and Daniel knew he had finally found his place in the universe. Together, they would protect their hidden paradise, a beacon of hope in a galaxy that had forgotten what it meant to truly live. And so, the man who had been sent to die became the guardian of a secret that would change the course of history, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity, and the beauty that could be found in the most unexpected places.